Hello everyone, this is Will coming back with another portfolio review. It is a new year and I have already started on my way to getting to that goal of $10,000 between both my portfolios. So $5,000 here, $5,000 in Robinhood. Today we're going to start off with M1 Finance. Because there's a lot of hate on my last video, we'll say. I mean, there's not a lot. There was one comment and one dislike, which is fine. Someone brought up, you completely ripped off Joseph Carlson's portfolio. And you're right. I copied it because I saw the success he's having. And he even says, like, if you want to emulate it, that's okay. So, yes, I didn't give him credit, but I'm pretty sure in the first video I did. So I'll say it on the beginning of this one. This portfolio is completely emulated from Joseph Carlson. This M1 Finance portfolio that he uses, I also use too, because I don't think I could create a better way to track it than what he already has done. So haters gonna hate, that's fine. So actually just looking at this, I only got a deposit, hold on, activity, sorry. So the beginning of the year, 1 cent from Nike. I made a deposit of $300 because, again, my Christmas bonus doesn't come in December. It comes from all the stuff I sold during Christmas. So, sorry, just drinking some water. So, that was me depositing. And you'll see the same thing in Robinhood. I try to do even for both of them. So, if I only have $400, it's going to be $200 in each. So, I had an extra $600 I was able to deposit. That's another point that I want to bring up is sometimes I see people that are able to do $2,000 every month. And there's some people that can't. I mean, I only started off doing like $100 every time. But, you know, now that I realize the big effects of compounding, I'm more willing to put more up front. And again, I treat this like a savings account. If something came up in my life where I needed $1,000, I'm probably going to take it from my portfolio and get that taken care of. But right now I don't have any emergencies and I'm working on other avenues to supplement my income, so I won't have to worry about that, and also get an emergency fund saved up. So just wanted to talk about that. So today I got an 11-cent deposit. Well, yesterday I did, but it always shows up the day after, so there's that. So jumping back over here, I actually noticed that it's up to 2028 now. Okay, so I don't know if there's a jump, but if I actually look in the last day, there is a deposit that's going to be coming for $1. So I'll probably see that tomorrow. So it's too bad I couldn't get that on this recording, but I think it has to do with one of these sectors because you get some really big dividends from them. I'm pretty sure the last one there was, yeah, I mean, this was a total bond index, but that was $1.41. That was huge. I mean, for me. Then there's another one somewhere. Dominion Energy at 29 cents, but this was back in December. So I have that updated now for December, so we'll be able to go over that. So that's kind of exciting. And as you can see, today is the 9th. It's a little after my normal recording day. I just had today off. So my next one will be the 22nd. So I try to do these every 2 weeks just because, you know, it's always hopefully encouraging for people to see how much progress you can see in a little amount of time. Granted, you don't see my portfolio jumping up a lot. My invested capital is $1,300, but I've only made $15 in gains. But again, it's a different type of formatting. It'll start to snowball on its own as I start to get more dividends coming in. I mean, right now, since September, I've only gained $7 and the reinvesting threshold is $10. So it takes a bit, but hopefully by the end of this year or even sooner, that would be really great. I can start seeing this compounding happen a little faster, that once I get $10 in dividends, it gets reinvested. So then what I'm contributing, you know, plus what is contributing to itself will start to snowball. But yeah, if you really want to see more in-depth look, again, I highly recommend Joseph Carlson. He's the person that wanted me to start doing this, formatting this portfolio, investing more into M1 Finance because I just wasn't getting it. So just wanted to keep that in mind. Not really much more to talk about that. I kind of showed you everything. So moving on to Robinhood now. This you'll kind of see slightly more. This is what I've done so far for the week. Not so great, but you'll see more changes because I do buy a lot of shares. So this time around, I'm just trying to find where I was. So I added 1 share of, this is Vanguard High Dividend Yield. I'm trying to get some different options out there. Oh, no. There we are. Just trying to get some other options of something that will give me some high dividends. For the reason I want more money coming in so I can buy more without having to invest my own capital up front is kind of the way I'm strategizing this. So, and then ET is a energy company, energy transfer. So I got 5 shares of that. This one is another high dividend, power shares, S&P 500, high dividend, low volatility. So I got a couple shares of that. Again, it's for the dividends that I will be getting. It might take a bit, but I'll probably see them in a couple months. And then the last thing, I had some money left over, so I got ETF, Alternative Harvest, which is cannabis. Now, some people are very anti-cannabis. I'm not a person that likes to smoke marijuana. That's not me. But right now, the big thing that's going off is the CBD oil. And I'm pretty sure this has a lot to do with that, because to make CBD oil, you need cannabis. I really want to know. See, this was January. See if I look back at the last month. There's like some point somewhere where cannabis oils and CBD creams really took off. Okay, so I don't really know, but it has been at $30 in the last 5 years. You can probably see this is probably the spike of the CBD oil. I'm not sure, honestly, but I just know that this is something that's going to go up as it starts to become more popular. And I had $16 and it pays dividends, so it was a win-win to me. All these companies I would eventually like to buy a stock in. Now, this is some major like diversification, but these are all companies that pay me money for just holding them. So I really don't see it as a very risky investment, and they're all big name companies. Like some other ones that I'm looking at is obviously Apple. That's way too expensive for my blood right now. Microsoft, Disney, Starbucks, more Vanguard, ETFs, Visa, a lot of things that are good for dividends that I will eventually like to invest in. So that's kind of something that's coming up. Now, most people don't do this many shares. They don't do this many diversifying, but it's a way to help protect me. So that's really what it comes down to. The big part with investing is that it's all risk management. If you're someone that does not like to risk money, you're not going to get as big of returns, so you should probably do bonds. If you're someone that is very risky, has a gambling tendency, then just put $1 million on like Amazon or something, or Tesla even, but it's all risk management. For me, I like stocks because I like the gains I can get. As you can see, between both of these, I've invested $1,300, but with Robinhood, I've made more money because I've pointed it out in the past that I lucked out quite a bit on Charles Schwab and TD Ameritrade. GE is another one, but right now they're really high. Like I keep getting notifications for like General Electric that they've hit their 52-week high. So not going to be dollar cost averaging that, but that is something that I'm going to be working on soon, is dollar cost averaging some of my higher stocks, maybe down a little bit more. And that's something that I'll work on, and I'll kind of talk about that over here as well when I get to the portfolio part of the stock portfolio video. The last thing I want to do is show off what is going to be coming up. I think it's history. Yeah. So again, $300 from my bank. And then you can see my purchases. I got 1 share of Vanguard, $93, 5 shares of Energy Transfer at $13 each for $50. I tried to make them roughly even-ish, and then I got 3 shares of the high dividend. So hopefully I can show that soon, like how much money they're going to be paying me, and see, if I can, start to get to the point where I can buy some shares. And then again, I had $16 left over. I don't know where the rest. Oops, dang it! I don't want to do that. Back. I think I did that in the last video too. Speaking of which, I am moving up the list. I think they're starting to roll it out to people. So I still have $3 of buying power. So I had like $20 left, and that was the only thing I could find that was on my list that I was able to afford, and it paid dividends. So coming up soon, which 17th, so that'll be next week. payday for me, I'll get paid twice because I got Keurig Dr. Pepper, which I have 5 shares of them for 15 cents, so I'm going to get 75 cents. Not bad. Not bad at all. And then new residential investment, I have 2 shares, 50 cents, $1. So far this month, I'm going to get $1.75. Again, not a lot. As we go into the stock portfolio, I haven't updated my dividends, I don't think. I don't know. We'll talk about it. I'll be able to show that off, kind of where the trends are going. But December is a big dividend investment month, so they do pay out a lot of dividends in December, so that's something to keep in mind, that January will probably drop, but then it will go back up, I'm sure, in the future. So moving from Robinhood, we'll now move to the stock portfolio again. So I've kind of tweaked it a little bit as far as like my formulas, because now I did, where is it? Somewhere down here I changed to some, because before I just had like long lists, so hopefully that will work a little bit better. There we are. So you can see I've added my Vanguard high dividend yield, my energy transfer, this and this. And I don't know if you've noticed, but I've labeled them as ETFs is my label for that, because they're not in any specific sector, they're spread out. So I really love the spreadsheet. I will probably continue to tweak it as I see fit. But as I was kind of referencing before, I'm going to try to dollar cost average. Running out of water. So I'm right now kind of looking at the current price, and I'll start comparing it to the 52-week high, because that's something that I don't really need to buy any more new companies right now, because some of them are getting really expensive. But some of these ones I can possibly lower my average costs, so then my gain and loss will go up a little bit, or see if I can time them at a good time. So right now I bought Bank of America at $28.91. They're at $34.99. Not a good idea, because it'll drive my average up. But if I look at Ford, they're again getting towards that point. I'm just trying to look for companies that are toward like closer to their 52-week low, but I'm not really seeing too many of them. A lot of them are towards their high. TXMD, I don't know if they pay a dividend. I think they're a company I got for free. Yeah, so I wouldn't do that. 16, 52, 13. I mean, this one's pretty close. Marathon Oil is pretty close. I mean, I bought them for $11. Now they're up to $13. So right now everything is going up. So it's really hard to kind of dollar cost average right now. I mean, right now, BP is, I bought them for higher. They're now lower. So if I wanted to average it down a little bit, I could buy a share, and then that would make my average go down a little bit. Probably it's going to be on my losers right now, if I could call them that. Like right now, as an example, Keurig Dr. Pepper, it's gone down $2, so it is actually closer to its 52-week low. So that might be something that, seeing how they're at next week, I might buy a couple more shares, because they're a great company. Keurig Dr. Pepper owns huge holdings, and that might be something in future videos I kind of show, like what some of these companies hold. So right now I'm down like almost $8 on them, so I could get a pretty good deal, because they're like $3 away from their overall low. So that could help me boost up the shares, lower my average cost. So I think everything else is doing pretty well. I'm just kind of waiting for everything to go down, unfortunately. So all right, sorry, I'm back. Maybe someday I'll learn to not like type or use the numpad when I'm trying to record, because that's what stops it. So as I was saying before, I just deleted that. I'll talk about what I did in a second once I type it back in. Basically what I was saying is, when I type in, I'm going to be careful to 1.75. All right. So adding that back in, I was explaining that I'm already almost half of the way for what my total was last year. Like, that is some huge snowballing. So kind of backing up a little bit. The first month that I finally got a dividend check was October, because I had to wait for the ex-dividend date, and that was GE. I remember that because it was 2 cents. I was really excited. And then the next month, 48 cents. Again, it's the timing, what I owned. I can't remember all my dividends then, but it was like almost 25 times more. Obviously, I'm not going to see that quite a jump from there, but then into December, it was 7 times, almost 7 times as much. I mean, huge jumps. And then overall, you can see that my total from that year wasn't, very, like, you could see my December basically was carrying my year. But yeah, that's just adding that back in. Oops. But yeah, that's incredible. And then to already be, oh, there we are. I don't know why I was taking so long. And to already be halfway after 1 month, that's awesome. So, another thing that when I was watching a video is they added like a section for cash and what percentage of cash. That might be something that I look to do in the future, is like how much I have sitting and update it as I get dividends. Definitely something to consider with the M1 portfolio, but we will see. I'm thinking about adding a tab for percentage of my portfolio. I have it like money spent percentage. I have number of stocks percentage, but I think that kind of shows me what I want to see though. But if I look back at Robinhood, when I was checking through that yesterday, it has slightly different percentages somewhere. But yeah, this isn't bad either, actually. Shows some pretty good stuff. 782. Yeah, it probably updates a little faster. But yeah, I don't know. Just stuff to think about. Yeah, you can see that. I mean, this is where like the biggest thing comes from, is that Robinhood's free stocks really helped. I mean, $10 for free, almost $7. Yeah. So that might be something that I think about adding, and I will obviously go over that with you guys because I have room to, move these over and add something. But for now, I think we're good. So moving on to the M1 portfolio, I was telling you that I was able to get that updated here for you. So we can see now my portfolio value is up to 1017.85. That's what I ended the month with. So it's gone down a little bit since then, but that's where December ended out. And again, I'm seeing that snowball, not as much as the Robinhood one, but it's because I'm buying fractional pieces. I guess just really quick, close your eyes, pick a slice, pick a company, and the average share price is $88. I only have $21 invested into them, which is a quarter of a share. So the amount of money that they're going to pay me is going to be a quarter of what their normal dividend would be. So if they're normally paying out $1, I'm only getting 25 cents of that, where Robinhood, I'm getting, I think, there we are. Where with this one, I'm getting, I'm buying full shares, so I get the full share price. So the snowball isn't as much right now, but it will pick up faster, if that makes sense. So with that, it's kind of updated it. Right now, the average is still waiting. I'm still waiting for 3 complete months. So next year, or this month rather, when I fill in these charts will be more realistic. Like just hypothetically putting it in as January 2019. If I put in those values again, now everything is going to be updated for a more accurate representation of what my income would be. Because if I go back, it's at $18. Which isn't very realistic, because if I bring up a calculator, hopefully I don't, learning my lesson and using this instead. So 346 times 12, assuming I got the same thing every month, that's $41. That's like half of what it's showing me, because it's averaged with the first month being 0 and these next 2 months being really low. So again, it'll take a little bit before this actually picks up and it shows some accurate numbers, but work in progress. But you can see the progress. I mean, before this was above, but again, averages. So jumping in here, you can see how much higher. It was predicting me to make $1.58, and it is now 3 times that. Again, this is the same sheet that Joseph Carlson uses. Very nice, very useful. It had his logo up here. I took it off because this is mine. Mine now, or my portfolio rather. But again, he had it there to share for everyone. It's not like it's his private thing. And right now I'm not making any money off this content, so it's not like I'm ripping them off either. And then again, you can see the actual monthly income, 0, which it took some time for the ex-dividend days to go through, 34 cents, and then not much more higher, 52 cents. But then bam, December, a lot of people were paying out some big dividends. Well, big for me. So there's that. And then you can see the slow rise of my portfolio value that is slowly going up. And a lot of that increase is not from dividends. It's from me actually investing my own personal money. It takes a while for the snowball to really go. Obviously, it hasn't been updated because I've since deposited $300, so it's a little bit higher than this. But this is where it was at the end of December, so keep that in mind as well. That's kind of why I do both of these, because you can see what I'm currently at right now, and this is what I was officially at the end of December. So, and you can see that this chart still needs to wait for everything to properly update, but right now as it sits, wherever I am, my average income will be about $18 every year, but it's going to be more than that. Because it should grow. It should go up every year. So just wanted to go over that. Really exciting stuff. Really happy where things are going. It's just, it's awesome. It really is. Right now I just treat this again like a savings account. I am still contributing to my personal savings to get that 3 to 6 month buffer of an emergency fund. But I mean, realistically, I'm more heavily putting into here because it makes me way more money than my own savings account does because of the stock market and its returns. Obviously, I've done a lot better than if I just kept $1,000 in my savings. But again, just because of the timing of when I bought stuff. So that'll kind of be my goal going forward, is continuing to buy stocks, new stocks, because I do want as many as I can because diversification is amazing. The next is also going to be dollar cost averaging down some of these companies that I've lost more money on. So Pepsi is one that I see that I could definitely dollar cost average down. Did I say Pepsi? Sorry, I meant Keurig Dr. Pepper. But I mean, this is another one where I've lost that I could, buy a share right now and it'll go down to like 135 would be my average as an example. So, and that's something that I can cover in a future video of how I calculated it, how you calculate it, and how to plug this in. But, once you add something in, the whole sheet updates. So anyway, guys, thank you so much for watching. Hopefully this kind of gets you guys excited and motivated about investing. If you've made it this far, that is totally awesome. Totally awesome. Leave a like, leave a comment about if you're investing, what you invest in. I want to know, because this is definitely my hobby right now. As funny as it is, I always get strange hobbies. It's who I am. But I want to know more about you guys and how you came across this video and anything else you can tell me. So it's been great. Thank you so much, guys. Have a good day.